Hello everyone, this is Dr. Ruchi Shirurkar. I am a founder and director of an organization called as paediatric. Today I'm going to talk about few important rubrics in pediatric practice and what is the key to prescribe in pediatrics. So when we talk about children, their world is their family, their school or their friends, right? In children, the observation is very, very important, and it starts the moment the child enters your cabin. So you have a small CCTV camera, you can observe what is the child doing. Is he sitting at one place or is he mixing with everyone around? And the second important thing is the moment the child enters your cabin. I'll give you some examples. For example, if the moment the child enters your cabin and the child is shrieking and howling and crying, and the parents, are trying hard that the children should be in the cabin, and the child is just refusing to stay in the cabin, and the child is showing by hand that he just wants to go out of the cabin and he's very, very scared. So this is one situation that we see very, very oftenly in our practice. So the rubrics in such situation that we can take are shrieking children in, fear injury, being injured of because he has fear that the doctor can give him injection. Next is shrieking children in with escape desire too. The child wants to escape from this cabin of the doctor because he's not comfortable here, he's feeling a lot of fear. And the third would be shrieking children in resist with difficulty. The parents have to really force the child, apply their strength to make the child stay in the cabin. And the remedy that comes up is stramonium, right? So no matter what the child is suffering from, maybe it's asthma or abdominal pain or something, it is immaterial. But the reaction of the child to the environment also plays an important role. I'll give you other examples, where in just initial 2 to 3 minutes, you can make it out what kind of a child he is. The way he's sitting, the way he's talking, even the look, when you look at the child, how the child responds. There are children who are, talking outside, but the moment you ask a question, they just does not answer. They just does not answer. You ask them, what's your name? And they are not answering. And then you talk to the parents. The child is playing around, talking to parents. Everything is normal, but he just does not answer. Such situations, we have a rubric, answering aversion to answering, aversion to answer, sings, plays, but does not answer the question. So the remedy is agaricus. One thing more in agaricus children is very important is the moment you look at them. I had a case of asthma where this child was sitting normally, right? And the moment I used to look at the child used to look down. So looking down when looked at. So that See, you only understand the rubrics if you know them. So the knowledge of the rubrics is very, very important. So read all the rubrics with answering, read all the rubrics which has children in it. How the child answers. Is the child timid? There's also a rubric confident, if the child is talking very confidently. The child does not want to answer, so answering aversion to. The child is answering in 1 or 2 words, so monosyllabic. Or if you're talking to the children, the child is answering only by nodding, so answering nodding by. But see, these rubrics have singular medicines, like answering nodding by has pulsatilla. So there is a word of caution over here that in initial minute or 2, if you see nodding and you prescribe pulsatilla, it is wrong. The rest of the case should also support that rubric. So prescribing in the end is always about analysis and evaluation. You take the case, you analyze all the rubrics, convert them into rubrics, evaluate, see what comes important, see what is more important. You put the rubrics up and down and then finally prescribe the medicine. Yeah, so looked at, we were talking about looked at. If you look at the child, some children just turn their face away. So what is this? This is look evading the look of other person. You just don't want to look. You evade your look. You look away, right? I explained you looking down, evading the look, or looked at cannot. You don't want the other person to be, looking at you. So looking cannot bear to be looked at. There's also a rubric laughing looked at when. So there are children who are timid, who doesn't want to. So the moment you look at them, they just laugh because they want to hide their timidity, right? So I think lycopodium is the remedy, is laughing looked at when. And there are rubrics on answering. So there are some basic rubrics that you should know when you're doing practice in pediatrics, like curious, imitation. There's an approach towards cases of constipation. So study all the rubrics which are related to constipation in children. How the child reacts. Does the child want to, pass a stool while standing, or just refuses to sit on pot? Or I had a child case from Gujarat. The child used to cry during constipation, and the moment he has urge, he used to tell mama, papa, his parents, that please go from here, go from here. And he used to, hide behind a curtain or a sofa, and then he used to pass the stools. And that parent had shown to various homeopathic doctors, and there was no result. When I took the case, I took a rubric that company aversion to presence of strangers while passing stool, and I prescribed that child Ambra Gricia. Few doses of Ambra Gricia was able to help a long-standing constipation. So it's always the mind which is most important, and then comes physicals, generals, and then particular. So when I talk of evaluation, qualified mentals in children, in any case for that matter, plays a very, very important role. Yeah, so I'm planning to write a book on this approach of pediatrics and 50 important rubrics of pediatric practice. But this is a small introduction about rubrics in pediatrics. Thank you.